Matt Pinnell is on, and good morning, Governor. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing great. You can hear him, right?
I can, yes.
Very good. And Christy helped set this up. Or you sent me a text, about a month ago and said, will this work? And the fall was going to be perfect because, Governor, this is kind of fall tourism time, and I know that's right up your alley, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And Christy knows as well how important the fall time period is for Oklahoma. It's really prime time for Oklahoma tourism. The weather is perfect, and we're really encouraging people to get out there to our renovated state parks, all of the new great museums that we have in the state of Oklahoma as well. So we're really excited about the fall and really the sales tax revenue that towns are going to see from it.
Let's talk about the state parks a little bit because I think the last time you were on with me, you mentioned the fact that we're working on, and those are sort of, for some anyway, off the beaten path, and we take them for granted, but we're blessed with a lot of park space here, aren't we?
Yeah, we really are. I mean, we have 12 different ecosystems in the state, so a lot of our state parks are much different than they don't all look the same. Let's put it that way. To go from Little Sahara State Park to Broken Bow and Beaver's Bend in just a few hours. Most states around us don't have that kind of diversity when it comes to our state parks. They had been not taken care of for far too long when we took over as lieutenant governor, and it was a priority of mine of getting those fixed. Then COVID hit, which really, really fueled in some good ways people getting outside again. We had 2 million more people visit our state park system during COVID than the year before. So huge increase in numbers in our state parks. You can't find an RV spot at any of our state parks right now. It's so popular. So the renovations that are happening there, the new bathroom facilities, the upgrades in the lodges is going to get more people, keep more people outdoors. And really get people to, maybe the first time ever, to a state park in their own state. Most people really don't know how great those state parks are, and we're trying to encourage them to get out this fall.
Christy?
There's a friend of mine I wanted to get a gift for, and here is the perfect gift-giving idea. Give a friend a weekend at one of our state parks. And it's something that they probably have not yet done and will leave wanting to go to all of them. Had such a great experience. I love going to our state parks. And like the governor said, it's something that we're very fortunate that most states do not have the ecosystems and the different types that we do have here in the state of Oklahoma.
Governor, is there a way to track? I know there is, so I'm asking a rhetorical, I guess, here. But how many people within the state are now taking advantage? And it's also the great thing about, and we talked about this years ago with Christy, getting the people to stay in state. But also, when they cross the line and come over here from Texas or Missouri or Kansas or Colorado, we're getting out-of-state money. Can you track that?
Oh, we absolutely can. Yeah, with our online reservation system with our state parks, we're not putting money in a box nailed to a tree anymore, as crazy as that sounds. Yeah. Before we had a modern reservation system, it was harder to kind of track where the money was coming from. But we have upgraded all of our technology around our state park system. We're able to track who's coming in across those invisible lines, as you said. And that's a lot of money. That's new money. But we also certainly want all of these outdoor enthusiasts to know how great Oklahoma's parks are, so they're not going to Arkansas or Texas. And that is starting to happen. But we also have to have good facilities. We don't want to push people to parks that are unsafe or unclean or not just okay. We're not going to accept mediocrity anymore when it comes to our state park system. We want to be a top 10 state park system, and that is the goal of mine in my lieutenant governor's office.
What are the things we're doing for awareness with that? Because marketing, which is part of what Christy obviously, and part of your job too, just like this, I suppose. What are we doing to get that word out to where, okay, these are, usually when I go places in the state, sadly, it's when I have company come and I'm going to go, what do we do to show them off Oklahoma? And so it forces our hand a little bit. What are we doing for awareness?
Yeah, this is something that Christy and I talk about all the time. If you don't invite people to the state, they're not going to come. And inviting people to the state requires marketing dollars. And so we have a marketing budget inside our tourism department. It is a fairly small marketing budget, but it is working for us right now. That's something we're going to be talking to the legislature about in future years. But we have created a standalone state park app This is free for any citizen inside the state of Oklahoma. So if you go to any place where you can download apps on your phone, look for the Oklahoma State Park app. And we also have our Travel OK app. So we have two different apps now, both of them free. And you can download those and build out itineraries. We are pushing more advertising dollars behind our state parks. Quartz Mountain Lodge, we're putting a lot of advertising around that because that just became a state park again. We just invested $10 million in that state park in southwest Oklahoma. We've really made that a gem again. So you are going to see more advertising on social media. You're going to see more advertising on television as well. Now, we direct a lot of that advertising outside the state, though, because, again, to your point, we want to get those out-of-state tourists inside the state of Oklahoma spending money and then going home. So you won't see as much television here, but you will see it in St. Louis or Kansas City or a lot of cities down in the Texas area.
I've recently been spending time in Springfield, Missouri, where I have family and everything, and I see the commercials all the time. And you're buying them in the 6 and 10 o'clock news, which is a good buy. So.
Oh yeah, Springfield's a big competition for us for our dollars. They advertise just as much here as we advertise there.
Yeah, and it's I think that our state does a fantastic job, given the fact that, like the governor mentioned, it's not as big of a budget as some of our surrounding states, and does it a very good job with the limited resources available. And I'll brag on him for a little bit too, in that the fact that there still are some dollars spent in our state. With previous leadership, that was not the case. And sometimes, just like in Stillwater, it's important to remind people why it's important to keep your dollars local, and to remind them of all the events and attractions and things to see and do in your very own backyard, so that you have that combination of local dollars staying local as well as the new dollars coming in.
Governor, I follow you on Twitter, and you post things with your family from traveling all these different places. You like bikes and stuff like that. Did you travel to all these parks before? I get the idea you probably did, but or because of your current title, have you become aware of things that you had no idea was out there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we did. You know, we love the outdoors. I grew up fishing in Oklahoma, so, you know, to kind of create the Oklahoma fishing trail that we created a couple years ago was certainly a point of pride for me. Some of my best memories and favorite memories growing up in Oklahoma was fishing with my grandfather. Mm-hmm. So yes, I mean, I've traveled around Oklahoma, but I have discovered a lot of places that I have never been before. And those listening right now, I guarantee you will have the same experience if you just spend a little bit of time downloading that app or going to travelok.com and realizing all the different festivals, because it's prime time for festivals as well. Every weekend in Oklahoma between now and really the end of the year, there's going to be an amazing festival over the weekend for you to take your family to and see all the amazing places around those towns that have those festivals.
And that's something we kind of missed out on last year simply because of COVID, and now people are getting out and about. We're having our concerts. There's music everywhere. There's live music outdoors where it's perfectly safe. We have some great venues now. And Christine, anything before we wrap things up here?
Well, you know, this is the time of year a lot of people plan trips to the East Coast to watch the leaves change, and we have beautiful areas for that in Oklahoma, and particularly in southeastern Oklahoma. So I always say, why spend that much money? You can see something just as beautiful right here in Oklahoma, and so encouraging people to stay here and check that out as well.
Yeah.
Miss fall foliage right there. Governor, I think we're going to talk to you again here in just a few weeks, but anything to wrap things up as we're wrapping up September, turning to October, and you mentioned this is prime time for Oklahoma tourism. Anything on your table or on the horizon that we need to let people know about?
Yeah, you know, so we have our travel and tourism summits. You know, I have 4 lieutenant governor regional tourism summits in the fall, and we actually have one coming up near Stillwater in Ponca City, which is October 7th, Thursday, October 7th, from about 1 to 5:30. This is for anybody, any small business owner, whether you are in the tourism space or not, that just wants to learn a little bit more about how to promote your business, you know, run a smarter business. Social media. We'll talk about, you know, how to do that as well. That is going to be in Ponca City, October 7th, and you can go to OTIA. That's our travel association in Oklahoma, OTIA, to learn more, to sign up for that. Very very low cost to come to that, and then I will be doing a town hall in Ponca City at the end of that tourism summit.
Very good. Christy even wrote it down. So,
Actually, I'm on the Oklahoma Travel Industry Association Board of Directors, so we're getting reminders probably weekly. I'm going to actually attend the one in Miami. And a very good friend of mine, Bill Geist, who is national known speaker for destination marketing organizations, will be the keynote there. And then I'm pretty sure you're doing a town hall there as well that afternoon, probably, or that evening.
We are, yes. We'll be in Miami and Durant later in October. But the first one is in Ponca City, I believe.
Yep.
Very good. Hey, and we'll talk soon, and we'll remind people of all these. But really appreciate your time and your travel today. So, Governor, if you ever need anything, give us a shout.
Hey, thank you so much, Christy. Good to hear from you.
Good to talk to you as well.
There you go. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, y'all.
There you go. There's Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell, and appreciate his time today and all about travel and the tourism. Really, that was kind of always, I think, in the title of Lieutenant Governor, but I don't know if it was embraced as much.
No, I would absolutely agree. He definitely has done wonderful things for the state of Oklahoma in the travel and tourism development, and I'm glad that he did concentrate a lot of his time on the state parks, because I've spent the last 30 years going to them and not going to them and going to them, and the improvements are just outstanding, and they are reasons to come to our state and reasons to get out and about and go see different parts of your state.
And they do leave an impression.
They do,
whether it's positive or negative. When you go somewhere and the plumbing doesn't work,
right?
You leave with that impression, don't you?
That's exactly right.
So,
and they have invested a lot of time and money, and they are outstanding. It is really neat to be able to go to different parts of the state and just kind of look around and go, wow, I didn't even know this was here. This is awesome.
Yeah. Sounds good. So anything else we need to get on that's going on in Stillwater?
Well, just from a Stillwater standpoint, I encourage people to go to visitstillwater.org and follow us on social media. Come by our 24/7 Visitor Information Center, where we do have all the state of Oklahoma's travel and tourism brochures and information that you can grab, including the Route 66 or the Route 66 passport book. And we've been running out of those, so a lot of people are wanting to experience that longest travelable miles on Route 66, and we've had a lot of people from other states come in and get those as well, so I think that's kind of fun.
Route and route are interesting.
Well, the reason I laugh is because we've been saying it the wrong way as a joke, and now you just say it that way, and I'm like, oh, I knew I was going to do that.
Well, if you're a mailman, you have a route, you don't have a route. That's true. You take a rural route, but it is Route 66. I'm not sure, I'd say it's one of those that really does go both ways.
Well, probably so.
So I don't know what the dictionary says.
I think you just kind of go with how the song goes.
Here you do. That's exactly
right.
So, hey, we covered a lot.
We did.
Appreciate you hanging out. You're going to take your cards out there in the lobby and make a big presentation.
I'm going to play some poker right before maybe a couple hands of blackjack.
There you go. So, hey, we'll take our time out, get caught up a little bit. Our show brought to you by Simmons Bank. This is Stillwater's Morning Scramble, and the mayor's next.